Welcome to Actual Scale Modelling. This is part 2 of the Hell Refrigerated trailer, scale 1/24. In part 1 we put the framework together, and you can check out that part on the Queen Cabin Trailer playlist, which you'll see a link for. In this part, part 2, I'll be finishing off the trailer build and may get around to putting some decals on. We'll see how long this takes, so let's jump into it. But to start off with, doing the bottom plate of the box, just cleaning up some little bars and things and attaching the first part. This is the plate that goes into the fifth wheel. You see a little knob in the middle there that just connects to it, and what that's in, it's putting on tiny little reflectors which will be painted once they're all on. When everything's on, it's time to paint. This is the underside of the main plate, so this is getting painted in Revel Aqua Colour 08. You can paint the other side, the main side, with the interior colour if you wish, but I'm having this trailer closed up, so I'm not going to be painting it. The trailer's around half a metre long, I think it is, so it comes in two sections, the bottom plate. So this is just the second plate, painting with the Revel 08 colour. And the sides are getting painted in Revel Aqua Colour 99 aluminium, and the reflectors are getting painted, which I'm doing now, in Revel Aqua Colour 30 orange. So once it's all dry, I'm putting in the first part. This is the cylinder that was made up in part 1 to go on. There's a little connection points there just to show you where it goes. And it was time to put the first section onto the base unit. Now those little ridges you see, there's actually gaps running down the centre of them, so it was quite easy to fit it. There wasn't any fitting issues or drama, just had to press it firmly in and then it held okay. And then the second plate, the canister goes right in between the two frames, so that's alright. And again, same with the first, it just practically clicks into position. Onto the side panels now, and well, actually this is the rear panel here. There's a couple of things that I had to do. First of all, I painted the leading edges with aluminium 99 silver from Revel Aqua Colour. There's a ridge that goes along it, so you can see where you need to paint. So I've done the same again on the side panels. These side panels come in halves like the floor plate does, and once the aluminium was dried, I put on a strip of masking tape. I used the masking tape as a guide, so I put a strip on, laid another one down, then took that one off, so I had a guide to paint a colour. So I masked off the silver and created my border, as you can see there, and I'm painting it in Revel Aqua Colour 360 Fern Green. This is the same colour as the cab is. So I'll be carrying on doing this, as you can see there, with all four side panels and the rear back panel, but not the front panel. So once it was dry, just take off the masking tape, and this is the point where you hope it's working, you get nice clean lines. As you see, it's coming away quite well. Taking away the last one there, and it's a nice sharp crisp line. Starting to put the main trailer together, using the rear panel, no, the front panel first, and there's little grooves that just lays against it, and once you put your cement on, it actually holds together quite well. And then for the opposite side, so same again, a little bit of cement on, and then just fit the grooves. I had a little bit of slippage here, but I think that was probably just me, nothing to do with the model. And then the next panel. Now in the instructions it says put on one of the roof compartments before you put in the other side panels, but I decided to do the side panels first, just because it was easier to access them if I needed to hold them together, and I did have to slightly on the joint. And now for the last side panel going in, it was remarkably easy to put together. I was worried because items that large it's generally quite difficult to put together, hold them in place, but no such issues on this. I waited for about an hour until the had set and gone off before I started putting on the roof, and again there's little ridges, you can see them on the open compartment, and it just slots in. And for the last panel you have to slightly angle it up, I can see there, before just placing it down. So for the rear of the trailer and the doors, you have to build up the door frame to hold the mechanism. Now you have an option here to be able to have the doors free moving, so you can close them and open them. If you do decide to do it that way, I didn't. Just be careful when you're building these parts up, because the instructions say put it all onto the main trailer, then place in your doors. That's not quite correct. These parts you see me handling now, as I say, are the door frames, and there's little brackets that hold the main frame. If you put them together now, before you put the door in, you won't be able to have them free moving. So you take the bracket, lay it up against your door frame, then put your other piece on top to close it up. Carry on prepping the door frames and just painting in the amber reflective points. Again, that's Revell Aquacolor 30. So it's time to start putting the housing onto the back of the trailer now. It fitted in quite well. You see, they just pop in there. Same again for the bottom. I had a little bit of difficulty here, only because I was trying to keep the trailer pointed towards the camera so you can see what it's doing. Now this is the housing for the sides. Now maybe I can explain a little bit better. This is the part that you would sandwich the door in between. So you would lay the door up onto the bracket on the frame, then put this part in. I wasn't intending to have the doors open, as I said, so it was just a case of putting them in and pushing them up against the bracket, then swinging the door closed. And of course it's the same again for the other side. So once everything was dry, it was time to put on a coat of clear. So this is Pledge Clear Furniture Polish, and just putting on liberally. Now you may have noticed that these silver items on the left hand of the screen that I hold my paints in. Those are just little blocks of air dry modelling clay that I cut up, pressed a paint pot or whatever into it to mould the shape, and they're very good for holding your paints in that in case of spillage. Anyway, onto the decals now, and as you can see I've got my decal sheet that I printed off a while ago. Again, check out how I make my own decals video on this playlist. And first of all, I'm just cutting everything to the exact size, trying to leave cut off as much of the white background as possible. Now you may notice the little strips of masking tape. That's just there as a guide for where I want each decal to go. It's just as a guide for me before I placed them on. So what I did was I just laid them down and measured out where I'd like them, and a little bit of tape to remind me where I'm going to put them. So I'm just putting down a thin layer of decal fix now, where the decal's going to go. Again, you can use any other solution, but for this one I use decal fix. Took my decal, this one is the name Queen, and slightly taking it off the paper before laying it down in a position and gently pulling off the backing paper. And of course that's how we'll be doing all the decals. So I'll just fast forward this through so you can see them going on. So next up is the Queen logo going on, and then it's the Flash album cover, and then the Queen album cover, very first album the Queen did, and then Hot Space, and Queen 2 album cover, The Works. What else have we got here? Sheer Art Attack. Next up is the Kind of Magic album cover, then Night at the Opera, then The Miracle, and Day at the Races, then Innuendo, and News of the World, Made in Heaven, Jazz, Queen Forever, and the last one I'm putting on is Queen the Game. That's one side complete, and there you go, you can see it all on there. It's quite striking, I think. So on the rear of the trailer, I just put on 2 of the Queen logos and then the word Queen. Oh, also there's no way I was able to do this pointing at the camera. Onto the opposite side, so this side is going to be Queen and Adam Lambert. So first of all, I'm putting on the large Queen logo, as you can see there. And the next decal is a larger version of what's on the side of the cab. So this is Brian May, Roger Taylor with Adam Lambert in the centre. It's a big decal, so it was a little bit tricky to put on. So I'm just trying to make sure it's lined up properly. And once I was happy, then just taking a gently hold of it and pulling the paper off like all the other ones. And once that was on, time to do the next one. Just a little bit of manoeuvring, but yeah, I was happy with the location. So again, it's a decal fits lovely over the area that I want to put it, and then put on the Queen writing. Well, this is going to bring the build to a close, this last decal. After that, I'm just going to put on another coat of clear to seal them all in, and that'll be that done. If you watch this and haven't watched the other videos in this series, I recommend you do, because you can get to see the cab being built that's going to go over this trailer. And I will put up completed pictures and a small video of the actual completed project. There's also a video of the tutorial how I made the decals there. It's all there in the link if you follow it on for the playlist. Then you can watch it all or choose which one you want to watch. Feel free to leave any comments, any helpful tips, hints and everything. Always a pleasure to read them. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll try and answer them as best as I can. I do try and check the channel out every day, but if I don't worry, I will get back to you eventually. Or why don't you post something that you'd like to see me build? I'm sure we can come up with something. But as I said, this is the end of the Queen project. There's the end of the trailer you can see with the Queen logo and name. So thank you all very much for watching. There's a small slideshow at the end for the trailer, but for now, bye bye.